I applied for and got the job as motor officer for the 16th Constabulary Squadron, separate. The unit had M8 scout cars, light tanks, and patrol jeeps with MGs.
Machine guns.
A real spit and polish, strictly GI type unit. The CO thought he was Patton and Custer all in one.
Wore 2 pearl-handled pistols.
I stayed there until the Russians started acting up. Then the U.S. started to send men with dependents to the U.S. zone. How were the Russians acting up?
They were starting to check everything coming in the checkpoints, restricting travel, giving the Air Force a hard time about flying in the lane that was set aside for them to fly in, and in general being obnoxious, which they can do with a lot of ease. And they intimidate people. You heard so much how bad the Russians are when you expected when you saw one he's going to pull a gun out and shoot you.
We ended up in Mannheim, Germany. I was company commander of a tractor-trailer, all-black truck company.
The whole battalion was black, except some of the officers. The headquarters was all white. Some of the company officers were white. Some of them were black. I happened to be the only white person in that company. I was commander. And my company had a crackerjack baseball team. And we always had baseball games in free time. And they were pretty good at it. And they were sharp. Marching to the motor pool in formation. They had that, then we called it lockstep type of marching, with a shuffle step that they were perfecting, just getting perfected. Man, they were sharp.
And this was about what year?
47, I guess it was. Our whole battalion. The trucks were being used for the Berlin airlift. We were in Mannheim, which is not far from Frankfurt, and we were hauling supplies for the Berlin airlift. My company was a semi. The kind that when you hit the brake pedal it goes psh, psh. Oh, I got another comment to make on them. Is our battalion, all black, had the lowest VD rate in Europe. And the white units couldn't understand. How do you keep those blacks from catching gonorrhea or syphilis? What do you do? Well, it's simple. We have one company furnishes the guard for the camp, and we put a minimum of guard out, and everybody else in the battalion gets a pass every night. So they go to this German girl's house and sleep with her every night, except when he's on guard. And that way you don't, once you catch the VD and get it cured, you don't get it anymore because you're staying with the same girl. It's when new men would come in, he might get a dose, get cured, and find him a girl that didn't have it, and things would be fine. So we had the lowest VD rate in Europe. That wasn't regulations. I mean, we were breaking regulations, but as long as it kept the VD rate down, they took a chance at it.
Had these men been in combat too, or was this formed after the war?
A lot of them had been with the Red Ball Express, that kind of duty.
Did they ever talk about experiencing racism in the Army?
No,
Or did they have a good company spirit?
Yes, they were proud of their units. And in Mannheim, that's all there was colored. So they had no trouble with white boys over the girls. Mannheim was a pretty well bombed out town. It seems that one B-17 crew bailed out, crash landed there, and the townspeople murdered them all. So the story goes that a lot of bombers coming back from missions save a bomb or two to drop on Mannheim as they went by. And it was pretty level. Everything except the barracks. Nothing. It was perfect. I don't know how the bombs happen to do that on their own, but they do.